Welcome back, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we're going to uncover a hidden treasure from the past, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, or perhaps even in your pocket right now, worth far more than you'd expect. It's the United States of America 1-cent coin from 1977. A small, humble penny, but what if I told you this little coin could be worth thousands of dollars? That's right, stick with us as we explore the history, design, rarity, and the shocking value of this 1977 penny. The 1977 1-cent coin was minted during a time when the U.S. economy was evolving. The 1970s were a pivotal decade in American history. The country was dealing with high inflation, economic shifts, and changes in the political landscape. The coin itself might seem like a simple piece of currency at first glance, but it holds far more significance than meets the eye during this period. Coins like the 1977 1 cent were mass-produced and circulated in large quantities. You could easily find one of these pennies in any change you received. But as time went on, some rare variants started to emerge, making certain coins from this year incredibly valuable today. Before we dive into the specifics of its worth, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1977 1 cent coin. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history. The Lincoln Memorial graces the reverse side, symbolizing the strength and unity of the United States. The coin's design has remained relatively unchanged for decades, making it an instantly recognizable piece of American history. But that's where the simplicity ends. What makes the 1977 1-cent coin so interesting in the world of collectors is that, while most of these pennies were produced in large numbers, some contain unique characteristics that make them stand out. As with many older coins, there can be subtle differences in the minting process, leading to rare variants that are highly sought after. One of the key factors contributing to the value of these coins today is their condition. Most 1977 pennies have been through years of circulation, bearing the marks of use, wear, and tear. However, a small number of these coins were kept in pristine condition, often tucked away in drawers, jars, or collections, never to be touched by the wear of daily transactions. These coins, in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, are extremely rare and can command much higher prices in the market. But it's not just about condition. Some 1977 pennies have unique minting errors or features that make them even more valuable. For example, there are reports of double dies or minor design variations that can significantly raise the value of these coins. In the world of numismatics, these errors are considered a collector's dream, and a single mistake in the minting process can turn a seemingly ordinary penny into a rare and prized treasure. For those unfamiliar with the concept of a double die, this occurs when the die used to strike the coin is improperly aligned, causing certain features to appear doubled. These errors can be faint, but they're often noticeable to a trained eye. Coins with such minting errors, especially from a year as significant as 1977, are highly coveted and can be worth much more than you'd expect. Now, I know you're all waiting for the big reveal, the true value of this 1977 1-cent coin. If you're lucky enough to possess one of these rare coins in uncirculated condition, or better yet, if you have a coin with a minting error like a double die, you could be holding a small fortune. Are you ready? The 1977 1-cent coin could be worth a staggering $22,000. That's right, $22,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding this little gem tucked away in a drawer or in your collection. It's amazing to think that such a seemingly insignificant coin could be worth so much. So, if you have any old pennies or are out and about collecting change, make sure to keep an eye out for this particular year and condition. You never know, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Top 2 today, we've got a real treat for you, a coin that's been hiding in plain sight, and it might just be sitting in your collection, or even in your pocket right now. We're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1976. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny, right? Well, think again. This small, seemingly ordinary coin could actually be worth a small fortune, and today, we're going to explain exactly why the year 1976 was a monumental one for the United States. It marked the 200th anniversary of the country's independence, and there was a wave of celebration and national pride. To commemorate this bicentennial milestone, the U.S. Mint made a significant decision. They redesigned the reverse side of the nation's most iconic coin, the penny. The new design featured a depiction of the colonial Minuteman, a symbol of the nation's fight for independence. This redesign instantly made the 1976 1-cent coin a unique piece in American numismatics. But what's even more fascinating is the rarity and value that some of these coins carry today. When most of us think about pennies, we imagine something that's fairly insignificant, right? After all, they're often tossed aside, collected in jars, or simply thrown away. But here's where it gets interesting: some 1976 pennies, especially those in pristine, uncirculated condition, can fetch incredible amounts of money. Most of these coins were released into circulation, and over time, they've suffered from the usual wear and tear. But not all of them. Some were carefully preserved and never touched by the daily grind of transactions. If you happen to have one of these pristine pennies, it could be worth far more than its face value. Now, let's talk about the design itself, because that's where the magic happens. On the obverse of the 1976 penny, you'll find the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, just like on most pennies from 1909 onward. But it's the reverse side where the real excitement lies. The colonial Minuteman design, which was created by artist Jack H.R., was meant to honor the bravery of those who fought for American independence. The coin's design shows the Minuteman ready for battle, and beneath him is the inscription 200th Anniversary of the United States of America. This bicentennial design made the 1976 penny stand out from the others, and for collectors, it was a coin to watch. But wait, it gets even more interesting. Some 1976 1-cent coins were mistakenly struck with errors during the minting process. These errors are what makes certain pennies from this year incredibly valuable. One of the most sought-after varieties is the so-called double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in the design appearing twice or more. These double die errors can be subtle, but when you spot them, they can be incredibly valuable. Another factor that contributes to the value of these pennies is their condition. Coins that are well preserved and have no visible damage are worth far more than those that have been heavily circulated. If you happen to find a 1976 penny in mint condition, especially one that has been carefully stored away and preserved, you're sitting on a potential goldmine. Now, I know you're all curious about how much a 1976 1-cent coin could actually be worth. If you happen to have a 1976 penny that's in uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, then you might be in for a pleasant surprise. The value of these coins can soar to impressive heights. Are you ready for the big reveal? A 1976 1-cent coin in perfect condition or with a unique error could be worth as much as $21,000. Yes, that's right, $21,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that a coin so small, one that you could easily overlook, could hold so much value. But that's the magic of coin collecting. You just never know what treasures are hidden in plain sight. So, the next time you come across an old penny, especially one from 1976, take a moment to inspect it closely. You could be holding a rare gem worth far more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and want to learn more about how to spot valuable coins in your collection, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Top 3. Well, today we're diving into a coin that might be sitting right under your nose, potentially worth a small fortune. Yes, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1980. While most of these pennies may seem like ordinary, everyday currency, some could be hiding a big surprise. Stick around as we explore the history, the value, and the fascinating secrets behind the 1981 cent coin. The 1980 penny was minted during a time of significant change in the United States. The country was entering a new decade, the 1980s, and the economy was experiencing some challenges. the inflation rates were high, and there were significant shifts in both the political and economic landscapes. Despite this, the 1981 cent coin was just another penny, right? Well, not exactly. While most pennies from that year were widely circulated, there are certain factors that can make this particular penny worth a lot more than its face value. Let's talk about the design. The 1980 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that's been used on pennies since 1909. But it's the reverse side where things get more interesting. The reverse features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity and strength for the American people. This design remained unchanged on the penny for decades, making it a staple of American currency. But here's the catch: even though the design remained consistent, not all 1980 pennies are created equal. Some of them have rare characteristics or minting errors that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes the 1980 penny stand out among the millions that were minted? The answer lies in the condition of the coin and, more importantly, in the rare minting errors that occurred during production. Let's start with the basics. Most 1980 pennies you'll find today are worn down, with visible scratches, discoloration, and other signs of circulation. These coins are worth very little, just 1 cent, as expected. However, a select few of these pennies have been preserved in pristine condition, which makes them highly desirable to collectors. When it comes to rare coins, condition is everything. Coins that have been kept in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in transactions and have stayed in excellent shape, are far more valuable. Finding a 1980 penny in such mint condition is already a rarity, but what makes some of these coins even more exciting are the minting errors that occurred during production. These errors are what truly set certain 1980 pennies apart from the rest. One of the most coveted errors on a 1980 penny is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing some parts of the design to appear doubled. These errors can be subtle, but to an experienced collector, they're easy to spot. A 1980 penny with a double die error can significantly increase the coin's value. If you happen to come across one of these error coins, you could be holding something that's worth far more than a single cent. Other errors that could make a 1980 penny valuable include misstrikes, off-center coins, or those that were struck with the wrong type of metal. These mistakes during the minting process can make a coin much rarer and more desirable to collectors. And because the minting process in 1980 was so complex, some of these rare errors are harder to find than you might think. That's what makes these coins so exciting. They're like little pieces of history with a story to tell. So, let's get to the big question: just how much can a 1981 cent coin be worth? Well, the answer depends on the condition and any potential minting errors the coin may have. While most 1980 pennies are worth just 1 cent, a rare, uncirculated penny with a minting error can be worth a surprising amount. In fact, a 1980 penny in excellent condition, or one with a unique minting error, could be worth as much as $20,000. Yes, you heard that right, $20,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could hold such immense value. So, the next time you find yourself digging through old coins or checking your change, make sure to take a close look at those 1980 pennies. Who knows? You might just have a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars hiding right in front of you. Top 4. That's right, we're talking about the United States 1 cent coin from 1982. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, the seemingly ordinary penny could be worth thousands of dollars, and in today's video, we'll explore why this coin is a rare gem in the world of numismatics. Now, the year 1982 was a significant one for the US Mint. This year saw one of the most important changes in the history of American currency, especially when it comes to the 1 cent coin. Prior to 1982, pennies were made primarily from a combination of copper and tin. However, due to rising copper prices, the US Mint made the decision to switch the composition of the penny. By the end of the year, the penny would be made from 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, which dramatically reduced production costs. This change wasn't just a technical shift, it had an impact on the way the coin was produced and the way it looked. The 1982 pennies are unique because they were minted in both the old copper composition and the new zinc composition, and the mix of these two types of coins is what makes this year so intriguing for collectors. In fact, the 1982 pennies are some of the most diverse and sought-after coins in the modern era of U.S. currency. But why is the 1982 penny so special? Well, it's because of the transition from copper to zinc. During 1982, the U.S. Mint was working with two different compositions simultaneously. So, the first half of the year saw the traditional copper pennies being minted, while the second half of the year introduced the new zinc pennies. However, during this time of transition, the mint also made a significant mistake. Some of the pennies minted after the switch were struck with the wrong composition, meaning that a small number of 1982 pennies made from copper were minted after the change had been made official. These are known as copper 1982 pennies, and they're extremely rare now. You might be thinking, why does it matter if a penny is made from copper or zinc? Well, here's the thing, pennies minted before 1982 are made of 95% copper, and copper is a much more valuable metal than zinc. So, when the mint accidentally struck some 1982 pennies with copper, those coins became incredibly rare and valuable. If you have one of these copper 1982 pennies, then you may be holding a piece of history and potentially a lot of money, but that's not all. Not only are the copper 1982 pennies rare, but they also come with a fascinating story. The U.S. Mint doesn't like mistakes. In fact, they actively work to prevent these kinds of errors, which makes any coin that slips through the cracks even more desirable to collectors. Error coins, especially those that are rare and well-known, have become one of the hottest areas of numismatic collecting. This makes the copper 1982 penny a must-have for serious coin collectors, but it's not just the copper pennies that hold value. If you happen to have a 1982 penny that was struck with some kind of minting error, such as a double die or an off-center strike, those errors can increase the coin's value as well. These types of mistakes are often subtle, but they can be the key to unlocking a much higher price tag for an otherwise ordinary penny. Let's talk about the value now. While most 1982 pennies are worth just their face value, 1 cent, if you're lucky enough to have a copper 1982 penny in excellent condition or one that has an error, then you could be sitting on a coin that's worth far more than you might expect. In fact, depending on the condition, rarity, and error, some 1982 pennies can be worth as much as $19,000. That's right, $19,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could hold such tremendous value, but that's the fascinating world of coin collecting. Coins are more than just pieces of metal, they're pieces of history that tell stories and carry significant value, especially when they're rare and unique. So, the next time you're going through your change, make sure to take a closer look at any 1982 pennies you come across. You could be holding onto a coin worth thousands of dollars without even knowing it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the next treasure we uncover. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!